Good morning, Lions. It's Ryan Lion here, and today I'm bringing you a quick video about our migration from Enterprise to DAODAO. It's a sad day. We built LionDao off the back of Enterprise DAO being launched as a example of how to build a DAO and all the features and cool stuff that you can do with Enterprise DAO. Now we're about 3 weeks away from Enterprise being probably shut down, at the very least unsupported. The contracts will continue to live on chain, but we think that the UI is going to be taken down. It's not going to be supported unless a buyer steps in at the last minute. So with that in mind, we have started the migration process of moving off Enterprise DAO to DAODAO. Now we're very lucky that DAODAO is a DAO platform that can give us all the same features that we had in Enterprise, and maybe even a few more. So what we're doing here is a migration of our governance and treasury hub, but ultimately the impact should be minimal once you've made that migration. So for people who are still staking in the DAO, I just wanted to give you a quick run through of how to migrate. So there's a few things that we've done in preparation for this. You'll see from the proposals that are on the screen here, we have basically moved all the treasury out of Enterprise DAO, and with a view to migrating it to the DAODAO treasury. That means that that no one can come and steal the DAO treasury once everyone's unstaked. So it's nice and clean. As you see here, there's a few NFTs that we need to get out of here, but on the whole, it's pretty much been stripped. We also reduced the unstaking period from 7 days to 1 day. Given the short timescales that we're working on, wanted to give everyone plenty of opportunity to unstake their ROAR and have the opportunity to move it over to the new DAO. So what do you need to do? So you come to Enterprise, our DAO governance hub, as per usual. If you're not sure of the link, as you can see, the address isn't, the URL isn't too easy, but if you go to our Twitter at the LionDao and you click on our link tree, you'll be able to get this link if you've forgotten what it is. And what you're going to do is you're going to connect using your TerraStation wallet, go to the staking tab, and you'll be faced with this screen to unstake. You're just going to hit unstake here and say how much you want to unstake. Obviously you can hit max. I'm keeping my ROAR here in the treasury to just finalize the migration and get through any proposals that we need to. And you'll see here that your tokens are now on staking, and after 24 hours you're going to come back to this page and you're going to hit claim all tokens, and then they're going to be withdrawn to your wallet. So you have to unstake, you have to wait 24 hours, then you do have to come and claim the tokens from this page. They're not automatically going to hit your wallet. Okay? Other thing to do while you're in here is check your rewards. If you haven't claimed rewards in a while, you're going to want to come and claim your rewards. Again, you have to do that manually. It's not going to happen automatically because you unstake. And in general, how's the migration going? Well, you can see we've got 257 billion ROS. 28% of the tokens are still staked in the enterprise contract. So you can see a lot of that is, so 100 billion of that is my stake from the 10% of the tokens that I got when we launched the DAO to secure it. Those tokens have remained untouched and will be as we migrate to the new DAO. And then a big chunk of the rest, so if we take 257 minus 100, so 157 billion left, you can see that there's still 127 billion tokens staked in the ROAR amplifier on Eris. So 227, so there's only about 30 billion, which is about 3% of the tokens that need to be unstaked here. So I think we're doing a pretty good job in terms of making people aware that there's a migration happening and that they need to come and do this. So once you've claimed your tokens, what to do next? So here's our new DAO homepage on DAODAO.zone. A few ways you can get to this. You can also use our link tree on our Twitter, where the new DAO link is, and we're consistently pointing people to the new DAO. Alternatively, if you just come to DAODAO.zone, and if you hit search here and type LionDao, you can see us right up here at the top. And you just want to check. I mean, I would always go through the Twitter link. You just want to check that this is the right token, the right amount staked, before you stake your token, because obviously there's an opportunity. There might be some opportunists who create a spam DAO and try to steal your token. So just be careful. Although, even if there was a duplicate LionDao, you still would be able to stake and unstake your tokens. I'm not sure there's a way that they could take them off you, but always be careful. Then what you're going to need to do on DAODAO is you're going to need to log in. So when you hit login here, you're going to be faced with a few options. Now for desktop, for the time being, you can use Station to log in. On mobile, I know you can't use Station. If you're a mobile native person, I'm going to recommend that you use either Keplr or Leap Mobile. And on a more general point, if you haven't migrated from Station Wallet, so Station's in the same position that Enterprise is, in that it's going to stop being supported as of the end of October. So I would recommend that you think about migrating from Station. When you're in Station Wallet, if you've got your seed phrase, you can take your seed phrase, and when you open Keplr, you can say import a new wallet, and you can import a new wallet import an existing wallet, sorry, and you can import your wallet into Keplr or into Leap using the seed phrase from your Terra Station wallet. So hopefully you've got that saved somewhere. I think you might be able to also do it without a seed phrase by downloading a backup, but I'm not entirely sure about that process. I've never used it before myself. I always use, secure seed phrases that aren't stored electronically. So if you're still using Station, you haven't migrated to one of these two alternative wallets, please do, because we just don't know what's going to happen with Station, and you don't want to be locked out from your tokens. Basically get exactly the same wallet, exactly the same tokens in either Keplr or Leap, so I would recommend those two. So we're going to use Keplr to log in here. You just literally just hit Keplr. I've already connected previously, so it's just going to connect to my Keplr wallet. What you can do here as well is you can change your screen name here. I think that's going to prompt a transaction, which is a zero-cost transaction. You can update a profile picture and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And then to stake your tokens, so you see I've got some liquid raw here available. You manage your raw stake on the home page, and then you can stake your tokens from here. Hit the stake button, approve the transaction, and it's as simple as that. Wheels are spinning. There we go. You see, my raw stake's just gone up. Another thing I'd recommend is you follow the DAO. Obviously it says unfollow, but when you log in or when you first find LionDao, this is just going to say follow. You click here, you approve a zero-cost transaction, and that's just going to put it into your favorites. So when you come to DAODAO, so if I log out here, go to home, So when you come to DAODAO, if you then log back in using that same wallet, you can see straight away there's LionDao. It's in my favorites. It's in my home page. It's got the ongoing governance proposals there for you to see as well. So definitely recommend adding it to your favorites. Let's see that a proposal has just passed to establish Luna staking rewards. So let's execute that while we're on the call. Why not? So yeah, I was just going to come to staking rewards actually. Oh. So for staking rewards, here we go. Yeah. So you can see the first two proposals have passed. Establish raw staking rewards and Luna staking rewards. So once you staked, you're going to start receiving raw and Luna here in the home page. Really simple to claim your rewards. Just hit claim, approve a transaction, and boom, your rewards are going to get claimed and sent to your wallet. For raw, we've kept the same schedule of distribution as we had in the previous DAO. So it's 50 million tokens per day. Well, just over 50 million tokens per day. It's actually 2.1 million raw per hour. We put it on an hourly distribution just for a bit of fun, so that you can see this going up every time, basically every time you come and log on, as long as there's an hour in between. So just a bit more fun, seeing your rewards rack up hour after hour rather than a daily dump. And then for Luna, we've put 1,000 Luna into the staking rewards contract, and so that's going to drip out at about 50 Luna a day, so a couple of Luna an hour dripping in. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep topping that up with rewards that are being received from our Liquidity Alliance. So on Liquidity Alliance, we're generating about 200 Luna a day, so we'll add another 20 Luna a day into that staking rewards contract. So you'll receive Luna and raw staking rewards, and I guess we'll look to continue to build up diversified staking rewards as we go. I think that's pretty much it for now. I guess one thing to note is that the APR on staking rewards right now is very good. I think it's in the 20% APR range, 20 to 25%. As you can see, we've got 90 billion raw staked. I think in the old DAO we had 360 billion raw staked. So right now this is good. This is good APR, and the majority of this 90 billion, I think about 60 to 65 billion, is from the DAO Operations wallet. We put a threshold in that 10% of the token needed to be staked for the DAO to become active. So we staked some to make the DAO active so that we could start putting proposals in. You see we've got some other proposals to whitelist NFT contracts, whitelist tokens, create cross-chain accounts, obviously set up the staking rewards. And basically, as people stake for the next few weeks, I'm going to be unstaking that treasury delegation until it gets down to 0. So that the rewards are as nice as they can be for people who are making the migration over. You can see here that there are 113 members that have migrated already, which is great. I think we had as many as 1,000 people staking in the old DAO, so it's going to be interesting to see kind of what this number gets up to. There are obviously a number of other ways that you can utilize your raw, particularly in Liquidity Alliance, so maybe this number will stick around 200 or 300, but I hope to see it come up from here at least. So yeah, staking rewards really juicy at the minute. They're going to be diversified. We're going to keep piling Luna in there. You're going to see a flurry of proposals in the short term. There we go. Another one's just passed. Can we execute this? It's not quite passed yet. If I refresh. It has passed. Let's execute that as well. This is a proposal to create cross-chain accounts on other chains that are supported by DAODAO, so that we can pop tokens into our treasury there. Okay, it's probably going to take a little while to come through. Couple of other things to mention. Might have to make another video of this because this is some important stuff. There's currently a governance proposal on Terra to retire ampROAR staked to the chain. So if you are staking ampROAR to the chain, which you see you're getting a great APR on that. If that proposal passes, which it looks like it's going to in a couple of days' time, you're going to stop receiving Luna on this function. That means that you're going to have to unstake if you stake direct to chain, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. Unfortunately, it's a 3-week unstake. Let's delegate here. So you just come into this section. It depends on how many validators you're staking to. Hit undelegate. We're going to do the max here. Undelegate. Approve the transaction. As I say, unfortunately, I think we should see the undelegation here. Unfortunately, yeah, that's going to take 3 weeks to undelegate. There's nothing we can do about that. It would need a chain upgrade to change that undelegation time. So a couple of days time, you probably, if you're sticking ampROAR to the chain, you're probably going to want to come and undelegate here. What else? Some people will have amplified, so they'll have taken ampROAR and they'll have staked it for RAW. This is a auto compounding RAW token. So you've got a couple of options here, because when that proposal passes and ampROAR as an alliance asset is no longer receiving rewards, you're going to need to unstake MOAR as well. I guess with MOAR you've got another option, so you can you see I've got some MOAR here, so you can unstake. Let's just demonstrate that. You can unstake, and I'm going to receive 1.4 for a million. We'll receive 1.472 million ampROAR, which you can see is worth 1.54 RAW. So you can unstake here. This is going to take 3 weeks as well. But when you unstake this, you're getting the full amount of what it's worth. Another option is, so if I pull this over here, there is a more raw liquidity pool, which you can trade into. So if I look here, you can see I've got 69 million raw here. So I could, so if I unstake a million raw, if I swap, you can so with the MOAR token, because it's not staked direct to the chain, it's an LSD. We have got a liquidity pool. It's got 62k liquidity in it. You can swap from MOAR to raw. As you can see here, I would receive 1.48 million raw as it stands, and so I'd be losing 1.48. I'd be losing here about 60,000 raw on here. So it depends what you want to do. If you want to move quickly from MOAR to RAW, you can use this liquidity pool. If you want to make sure you get maximum value, do a long unstake. It's going to take 3 weeks, but you're going to get maximum value out of it. This, as you can see in this pool, there's been some quite significant depegs over the last since its existence. Started back in, what is this, March. So just be careful here, especially if you're doing a big amount. So if I do 69 million here, I'm getting 1.47. So I'm going to lose, in this example, I think about 7 million. Gets me out quick. I don't have to wait 3 weeks, but I'm going to lose some. And if you're keen to increase your raw bag and you've got some liquid raw, you also probably want to watch this chart, because you could buy, you could buy more at a discount, and then you can come to, if you're willing to wait, you can come to Eris and you can unstake it and get more raw. So yeah, keep an eye on this. Obviously, if you're wanting to get out of MOAR quickly, just be careful, because you might take a big haircut here, especially if you've got larger amounts and if there's a lot of people trying to get out at the same time. And if you want to get in and earn some more raw and get some more raw at a discount, this is probably a good chart to look at. I mean, even now, you're probably looking at about 5%, 4-5% extra raw you can get if you buy more here. And you see here, this lucky person got about 15% more when they traded in here. So so that's more for ampROAR. So we saw earlier 127 billion is staked in ampROAR. We got an update earlier from Philip at Eris that he's going to modify this contract over the next few days. So if you are an ampROAR holder, don't worry too much. Your ampROAR is going to get migrated to DAODAO. What he'll basically do is he'll shut off redemptions of ampROAR to RAW for I don't know, a couple of days. What he'll do is he'll come to, the smart contract will come here. It'll unstake all of the 127 billion raw. And once it's unstaked, it'll claim it, and then it'll come here. It'll stake the raw, and then obviously it'll become eligible for rewards, and it'll start auto compounding again. So if you're an ampROAR holder, there's no need to panic. Your raw is going to get migrated. So yeah, that's going to happen. So don't worry about that. Obviously, if you do want to get out of ampROAR in the short term, you can do. You can, like, so I've got like tiny bit. So you just come here, you unstake, and you should get it. You see, this hasn't been reconfigured because it's now a 1 day on bonding time. I don't know if this will work or not to get it out in 1 day. You'll have to ask Eris about that. And then I guess what for the future, because obviously if by losing our alliance, single-sided alliance staking, that's a loss to RAW. But what's going to happen in its place is, if anyone's been paying attention to Liquidity Alliance, so on Liquidity Alliance, you have these buckets. Right? You have these buckets of assets. You've got stable assets, project assets, blue chip assets. There's going to be a new bucket, and it's going to be for LSD assets. And one of the pairs on here is going to be ampROAR or raw ampROAR, right? So you're going to be able to provide, instead of single staking ampROAR to the chain like this, you're going to be able to go to Liquidity Alliance, and there's going to be a new pair. It's going to be raw ampROAR, and you're going to be able to provide liquidity to that pair. And then in the voters are going to be able to vote for raw ampROAR, and you know, as it stands, LionDao owns like 7.2% of voting power. So obviously we'll be voting for our own pool. We'll be incentivizing people to vote for our pool. And whereas on Alliance here, we're getting great APR, but this is only I think 0.4% of of inflationary staking rewards is allocated to ampROAR. Whereas this new bucket, is going to be worth 5% of inflationary staking rewards. So if raw ampROAR can get 9% or more of the votes in this bucket, the APR, the rewards allocated to that raw ampROAR pool will be more than the rewards that are allocated to ampROAR in Alliance. So from an APR perspective, the APR should be competitive with what you're getting on single-sided staking. So when the time comes, we'll be doing an update on Liquidity Alliance and the raw ampROAR pool and how you go about staking there and providing liquidity. If you're not an advanced DeFi user, we'll take you through step by step. But I guess the general message is don't panic. We've been getting a great APR on ampROAR over the last 6, 7, 8 months. I know some people might be upset that that's going, but it's going to be replaced with something where, you know, if we got 20% of the vote, for example, instead of 10%, we could actually get double the amount of annual rewards to that pool than we're currently getting for this single-sided staking asset. So keep an eye out. Don't panic. You've got a little bit of time as well. So if you need to slow burn, if you need to slow burn more, you don't want to take a haircut, don't panic. There's going to be new utility for raw and for ampROAR in the Liquidity Alliance, so stay tuned. I think that's it for today. We've been through unstaking, claiming, making sure you claim your rewards, finding a new DAO, staking, rewards, governance, following the DAO. We've been through Alliance, the changes there, how to unstake, how long it's going to take. We've been through unstaking more. So if there's any questions, jump in the Telegram, post in the comments, and keep tuned for further announcements. But that's it. Basically, we've made the migration. We're going to start populating the treasury here on DAODAO. You'll see that we've already started populating our treasury. We've got 310 billion raw in the treasury. We'll be populating other assets. You see we've just created the cross-chain accounts as well. Yeah, keep an eye out for any governance proposals here, and thank you all for sticking with us, and we'll speak soon. All right, bye.